I'll be going over some Gunslinger tips and some advanced tricks that you may not know already. Here are two standard builds for the Gunslinger. Also, what ability is hard and soft stagger. In terms of stats, you'll generally want to go with 750 agility and 250 subdue. I believe it's called domination on the NA client. If you don't know the basics of Lost Ark PvP, please check the description below for a video by Lynn. This guide will assume you know all the basics, so I recommend watching that if you haven't before. I'm just going to quickly go through the skills so you can see them here. Deathfire, depending on when you release it, has different effects. If you release it during the perfect time, it will knock up the target. However, you are not super armor during the jump and the initial blink. If you cancel perfect shot, you'll be refunded the skill cooldown. You just need to wait 3 seconds for it to be back up. White icon to the right of the skills here you can see means that skill has stagger super armor, and the yellow means it has knockdown super armor either baseline or through tripods. First combo I'll be showing here is the bread and butter combo for Gunslinger. It's a quick step into spiral tracker into catastrophe into focus shot, and you can queue up the focus shot so it goes off right after the catastrophe because it's pretty tight on 750 agility. You can also choose to only stop with the catastrophe in this combo if it's not safe to do a focus shot after, if a teammate is about to peel the target you're on as well. Another combo that's pretty easy to learn is the quick step into Last Supper. One of the good combos to use when a target is isolated and you know you won't be interrupted is a freeze combo. So you can go into any stagger, into a freeze, and then go immediately into Last Supper, Sharpshooter, and Dual Buckshot. This one requires pretty precise timing, as you have to land the stagger immediately after the freeze ends, or a low ping enemy can space away. This is even harder to land on 750 agility, but you can still time it if you throw the frost grenade far enough, and then immediately Last Supper. Low ping targets may still get out of the combo, but it's pretty reliable if you do it this way. You can cancel Sharpshooter by stance swapping, so if you realize that you didn't land the combo correctly, you can stance swap and get out of the combo without being animation locked. Your goal in neutral is to stagger the opponent first. If you do get a stagger, sometimes it's hard to get the quick step or a dexterous shot into spiral tracker because you hit the opponent with a different stagger first. In this case, you can use the freeze grenade to get a guaranteed combo so you don't hit scales. Easiest and best way to use your ultimate as a Gunslinger, generally you want to use the second one, is to get a double freeze into ulti if you can. Sometimes if the enemy is animation locked and you miss or don't hit the stagger due to super armor, you can go into a freeze grenade and get guaranteed damage off that. Especially useful against blades, since blades have a lot of knock up and stagger super armors, but are pretty susceptible to frost grenades during their animation lock. If the target has roll up and is not going to be easily peeled by teammates, you can go into a quick step spiral tracker into catastrophe, and then on landing freeze and Last Supper into focus shot. The freeze grenade has to be hit immediately after the catastrophe or this won't land. The freeze grenade also has to be pretty close to the enemy. In this example, it would probably be too far to actually land it correctly, so you want to be close and hit it directly kind of right at your feet to land the combo at 750 agility. You can also go into quick step into Last Supper and then use the freeze grenade as Last Supper hits into catastrophe into focus shot as another option. You want to use perfect shot to get people's rolls. You can also use it as an emergency stagger if you have nothing else up and cancel it. You can swing perfect shot at the last second to hit or get people off guard. Usually better players will hold their roll, so sometimes you can use a spiral flame to force their roll. Using space is pretty important as a Gunslinger since you can move twice during it and change directions mid-space as seen here. Space has T3 immune, so you can immune hard CCs, especially blaster stuns, Zerker jumps, etc. In 1v1s, you definitely want to max quick step as shown here. This allows you to hit it either once or twice with a longer SA. Also, this can be used sometimes in 3v3, although it's not meta, to lock down 2 targets at once. Give your team more time to engage after you get a good stagger combo, and gives you more frontline potential compared to a 7-point quick step. This comes at a cost to damage, since you'd only be able to run 7 points Last Supper or 7 points Perfect Shot instead. Next, I'll be talking about use of Catastrophe. You see 3 examples here. The first example, I'm using it slowly. Second example, I'm pressing it exactly when I see the box come up. And the third example, I'm spamming it and it immediately comes out faster. And you can see the difference in activation speed, depending on your positioning, can have a huge impact. Generally, you want to hit it right before the box comes out for optimal activation time rather than spamming it, if you can get the timing down. Peacekeeper has 3 options to it. You can use it just as a dash by pressing it once. If you press it twice within the activation time frame, you can use it as a dash into a single hit. And then if you hold it or press it 3 times, you can use it as a dash into a single hit into another hit. Generally, the single hit or just the dash is best. You can also do this with Quick Step, where you can press the skill again within its activation time frame to kind of vary the timing of it a bit. I've had a Google Doc with a lot of Gunslinger information for PvP for a while now, but I figured I'd make this video to help out people that like the video format more. But if you do prefer a Google Doc format, feel free to check that out as well. It's linked in the description below. If you want to see some in-game combat footage of the Gunslinger, you can check out some of my other videos. Feel free to like and subscribe too. My YouTube channel is brand new, so I appreciate any feedback. Thanks.